Hello, everybody. Good afternoon. Dr. Rao here, and I have a new webinar series that we are planning, um, and I wanted to announce that, which is starting this Saturday at 9 o'clock Central Time, 10 Eastern Time, and 7:30 p.m. India time. I have a lot of Indians coming to those webinars I do. And these webinars are dubbed as Saturday satsangs about proactive wellness and all that. So I have a list of webinars I planned. The first one is going to be on the flow. The second one, the next week, it will be on Wellness Summit, proactive wellness. And the third one will be on the facial yoga. And then the next one is restorative sleep, how important that is. And the fifth one is entrepreneurial daily routine for wins. Okay. And then sixth one is on nutrition, both ancient and the modern. And seventh one is on meditation, and eighth one is on self-realization. Okay, this is how I'm planning for the next 2 months. More information will be released. The team is preparing the advertisement and all the uh, how to get the uh, Zoom connection and all that. Why I'm doing this is on Saturdays we have been doing on how to really assess yourself and then really take those recommendations and then apply them in your life. That's pretty going on pretty well. And then I kind of want to be more specific now about a particular topic and announce them ahead of time so that people can reserve their time and whatever that suits them, right? So this is more like a elaborative look at, for example, restorative sleep. How can sleep restore us to more energy in the body and then much more alertness in the mind? Everybody knows that. But a lot of people don't do the proper things that are needed for proper sleep. More than proper sleep, they don't do the uh, enough deep sleep. Okay, they may sleep, they may fall down, or they may use some sleeping aids and all that. But I myself sleep without any sleeping aids. I don't drink alcohol. Obviously, I don't do any drugs and all that. I don't take any sleeping pills to sleep ever. However much I'm mentally tired and all that, I kind of have routines that I do 5 minutes before the sleep, and then or how I maintain the whole day, everything happens. So that's how I want to go deeper into uh, what are my understanding as a physician, as a yogi, and what is my routines that I do that are helping me, that kind of thing. So this is more like a giving practical tools for the people. The first talk is about flow. How can people be in flow while they are working? What are the things that are you want to really have an insight into? And that's a very important thing. I enjoy the flow and not occasionally. That is the key. It's not occasional, but it is almost all the time. You can be involved in the work, put your being in there, and then you will have very little energy. We all feel that, right? Suppose we like some carpentry or carving a bench or something, and you love that work, and or even doing the dishes. Sometimes people can go into the flow like state. So that's the first talk I'm going to talk on Saturday at 9 a.m. So I was introducing to my friends so that they can be looking forward to that and then join me. It will be on the Zoom so that I can interact with people and also really take it up. You can bring your own experiences and share with us. That's fine. But I'm going to. I think these are really helping people who are working in the modern atmosphere, and really not take care of their bodies and minds and inner spirit and all that, right? So that's where I want to contribute to people's life, which I have been, and but I'm going in a more systematic way. This is going to be much more professionally organized webinars because I have a team now. So we will be advertising around the world, and we'll be inviting a lot of people, and we'll see how they show up. This time is good for the America because it will be 7 o'clock on the west coast, 9 o'clock here, and 10 o'clock at the east coast, right? So that's a good time for people to join on a Saturday for something like a substantive lecture that they can take home some life lessons and then improve them. If they really listen, if they really follow them, they would be. But if they listen and take it like an entertainment and go, they are not guaranteed to work. But if you listen, if you apply them, and if you really put your energy into that, then you will see yourself that that is really being very good for you. Okay, so uh, hi Peter. So a lot of my friends who come there, they appreciate the value, and so now I'm going to do some advertisement also so that people know these things are happening. And we have a very well made studio now, and so it is going to be much more. I will be transmitting through the Zoom, but in several other channels we'll be getting that: LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook group. I have a Facebook group called Proactive Wellness. All the people there, they can come. And also, I'll be on the Instagram and Noom Vibe and all that too. So it all depends upon how many want to come in through the Zoom, and they can participate. They can do some exercises I may ask them to do, like a breathing or meditation or relaxation, any number of things. I've been having a entrepreneurial group on the WhatsApp every day in the morning, 7 o'clock, and then we continue the 8 o'clock morning routine. So that's pretty liberating to me because I do all the talk in the morning, 2 hours, and then rest of the time I was very busy publishing my books now. The first book I'm going to be doing, actually, I made everything ready for the Kindle. So that is called Sacred Sacred Strategy. It's a strategy for modern entrepreneurs. There are 30 problems I took, and then I presented to a group of entrepreneurs every day in the morning, and suggested what are the ancient wisdom ways. You don't have to change your religion, you don't have to adopt anything, but just understand what is the wise thing they were talking about and how you can implement that in your life. That's what I was doing. And I compiled all those 30 days together, and then this book has born. So I think it will be very valuable for the people who are entrepreneurs. Like it started with stress and burnout, and the second one is information overload. And there are so many problems, 30 problems, right? The end of it was having a purpose in life, but in between all sorts of things which we know, also some subtle things were there. And people who came there, they kind of valued that. So I thought I will give them this reference book, like, so they can carry the book, and then they have financial instability. For example, a lot of people have that, entrepreneurs who have it all the time. And what is that in just how they looked at money and how they approached money, how they use it, but liberated from it. Use it, but they are not greedy or developing the weakness of greed like that. So those kind of tidbits. It's not teaching anything, moral or spiritual. No, not. It's like a how practical, useful, and universal They were the suggestions they said. For example, if you have like a, you fear to go and speak on a stage, so what did they say, and how we can use the breathing as our thing, and also really understand thought as the objective to us. And then if the thoughts that come, and then if you allow them to go on them, then you will become anxious, nervous, and all that. But if you can observe those thoughts and keep them aside, that's a simple thing, right? But then it doesn't happen just like that. You have been practicing this for some time, then you will be able to see your thought as your object, right? And then you can handle that much better. Any number of things are there in this 30. But apart from that book, which I have completed all the 30 days with that entrepreneurial group, now I'm beginning on this Saturday satsang. Satsang is an ancient term which means people gather together to, sat means truth, to investigate the truth. It's not about I belong to the Democratic, I belong to Republican, I have an opinion, I have a theory, I have a philosophy. No, it's not that. What is really true in anything? For example, I was talking about sexuality and beingness. The people who are really centered on the inner being, they will never harm the people in the name of the sexual needs, because they don't look at them like that object, like a piece of a sexual object. And that is an important thing to cultivate in children. Okay, so if you can do that, that will help them in the long run. Okay, so a lot of unnecessary exposure to it, and then later on regretting it, or losing a lot of faith in the humanity and all that, that will be there. Even in India, I'm seeing this dastardly acts of mass rapes. It really gives me a lot of pain when I see human beings go down to animal level like that. So it's not about religious. It's not about being holier than thou. No, it's about understanding how our senses work, how we can withdraw them. Science and wisdom taught you, like a tortoise, something comes your way that stimulates and all that, you withdraw your limbs, like your senses, you withdraw. That is called pratyahara. That is taught to a lot of people. Even the physicians I train, I ask them to go and take a forest bath, where you go and you allow your senses to flow, begin with, and then practicing withdrawing them, and then going into your inner silence. Very profound experience once you experience yourself. It's not about the words, it's not about the description, it's not about somebody stating this is so, but it is about experiencing ourselves, and then really going into a dimension that's beyond thought. Okay, so that's a very valuable thing for the yogis, because they were able to focus better, they were able to achieve more, and they were not owed by the egoic inflation and all that. Okay, so a lot of things are possible once you understand what is withdrawal of senses, when we should do it, when we should not do it, and all that. So as we go into the flow state on Saturday, I will be taking you to how to do anything in flow, how to observe you are not in flow, how to really get this hanging of this thought. See, thought itself is the primary reason why people are not in flow, because they think one thing, they do another thing, and then they may do something because they are threatened, or they are imagining some bad effect will happen. But if you don't have all that, but you are completely in the work what you are doing, and you enjoy that, but at the same time your challenge is higher than your talent, then how you bring your earnestness and you compensate for the talent, that all that goes into that. Basically, if you are living in flow, doing anything in flow, you are effortless. Basically, that's what it is. You do some things routinely every day, and then you then look, okay, you're driving a car. Lots of times you don't have to, be focused so much, but then a lot of people do. They think and they drive because it's all mechanically happening. That's not good either, But that's what happens with a lot of people. Majority of the people, they will be not paying attention to so many things like they were doing in the beginning. In the beginning, you got to look at the mirrors or the rear mirrors, and you got to make sure you are on the brake wheel before you kind of release the car, and also you kind of check your brakes and all that. But then later on, all become mechanical. So you can be in a flow state and drive. Okay, but then when you are working, you may know the technical details, you may know the intricacies of the operations and all that, but once you are used to it, once you have learned the body mind hand movement are the same, then you will be in flow. I enjoy that all the time. That's why I have what's called ever renewing energy. So this may seem like a far-fetched and then really not reachable. It's not so. It's a question of paying attention to it, and experience it. Once you experience it, that becomes your experiential knowledge, and that comes through you. Okay, but if you are always in explanations, always in listening to something or somebody, then you will be always caught in the network of thought. Flow is not to be in the network of thought, but using thought as object, and then doing stuff, and then automatically stopping the thought is the key for that. Okay, I hope it makes sense for you guys. Anybody has any questions about this program that is coming up, or anybody has any suggestions, any further program you would like me to do, you can come up and tell me, then I'll be happy to indulge you. Okay, Amrita is there. I would like to talk to her. Peter is there. I would like to talk to him too. So many people are here. So it's a question of having these deep sessions that really excites me. I can stay with them for an hour or two and stay on one topic and then go deep and really bring out all that I'm living, I'm learning, and all that. uh, it's a fun thing to really be able to give them something substantial, right? So I'm really looking forward to this series, Saturday Satsangs with Dr. Okay, I hope you can. Yeah, my friend Peter is coming.
Namaste.
Hi, Peter. How are you?
I'm doing great, Dr. Ra. How are you?
I am great. I just prepared my book, Sacred Strategy, and
I'm very excited about that.
yeah, I think you like it very much.
Yeah, yeah.
This is
I
about the 30 days I did different problems of entrepreneur in this country and
yeah.
how we can handle with ancient wisdom.
Mm, mm. I'm at conference all week in Virginia Beach, and one of the breakout rooms today was on mindfulness
Mm,
specifically in the workplace and kind of managing stress,
mm.
just regular job stress, and then on top of that, the disability community that we serve.
Yeah,
There's a
yeah,
lot of uncertainty
yeah,
coming out of VC, and it's just like mindfulness kind of exercises and methods
mm,
to kind of manage our day.
yeah,
And I thought of you the whole time,
yeah,
literally,
yeah,
um, because everything that was coming out of that woman's mouth, I know on a deeper level because of
yeah.
you.
That's true.
So she was at a certain place and she stopped,
Mm,
but I know that there's a deeper meaning, and I was able to break out with some of my colleagues
yeah.
and discuss some of the things that you talk about.
Mm,
And it was just really, really enriching. And I probably could have, the woman did fine, but I probably could have taught that block of instruction
mm,
just as well, but deeper because I now have a deeper understanding
yeah,
because I've been kind of like listening and in my own way studying under you.
yeah.
So
But
thank
also
you.
you have
Thank
experiential knowledge too, Peter, because you have
you.
experienced that. That's
Yeah.
more important. You see, anybody can say anything theory, but these
Yes.
are really inner sciences. So you got to validate by yourself. You may like me,
Yeah.
and then as a friend, you may accept, but it becomes your property when you really experience that in life.
Experience it.
Yeah,
Yeah. Experience it. Yeah.
yeah,
So it was just a very, very enlightening. So yeah, I was
mm,
thinking about you today. The room
yeah.
was a little bit warm, but I was thinking about my friend Dr. Rao. And lo and behold, you come on tonight as a nice surprise at 7 p.m. So
Yeah.
I figured I'd
No,
come on
I
and say
came
hi.
because I wanted to announce this program, and then this
Yes.
is going to be kind of well organized this time. There's a team, and there's a whole lot of arrangements are done. So just to serve them better. That's all.
Yeah.
And not to
Yeah.
appear big or anything. Just to serve them better, and also I'm focusing on my topic rather than all the other things. So
Yeah.
the first thing is, as I was telling, flow. Suppose
Mm,
Peter gets up in the morning and he experiences flow not just in the morning, not afternoon, but evening, late night.
mm, yeah.
Look at the economy of your energy.
Yeah.
Look at the fulfillment of whatever you are doing.
Yeah.
Look at the interest of the boring jobs you are doing.
Hmm.
These are the benefits when you are in flow.
Yeah.
And I would say I'm always in flow because I'm always in the present moment. It's
I know
not
you are.
something. It's not something like an egotistical statement. It's like a physical fact. Uh,
Mhm.
Suppose something happened yesterday. I will tell you an incident. Um, I was at this room and they were talking about it, and then as you do, I can go a longer little bit because they wanted everybody to speak certain, that kind of things happen, right? And I was watching myself. Just he has the duty to say everybody has to speak. Please, sir, keep it slow and all. But then
Sure.
the question that he asked is very profound. But
Mm,
I was coming to the end, and he said, "Oh, I had other people." And all. But are you listening to what is happening, or are you just saying, for the sake of mechanically, everybody has to do that? And he
right.
agreed. He wanted everything mechanically finished. you know
Yeah.
but the thing with it I observed was, have I an ego that is getting hurt because I shouldn't be stopped because I'm thinking so much about it? That was not there. See, I was watching that. I don't have that ego that to hurt or to blame or to say, oh, I was given or not given importance. That was not. That is the self knowledge we have. Then we're going to flow much easier.
That takes a practice, no?
Yeah, it does. It does. That's why I'm saying in life, as the incidents are happening, comeback pattern, as they come back, they are happening, that becomes our insight into it, and we are able to really learn from that. And that is the experience knowledge I'm talking about. Say, suppose I was not having this self knowledge, or I stepped aside from all that hurting and getting bruised on all that egoic thing, that is not there, then you have reserved a lot of energy.
Yeah.
But usually, immediately people react and say, "Oh, I was trying to tell something very important, and these people don't understand. They are trying to stop." All that goes on. That
Yeah.
is the one which takes you away from the enjoying whatever you are doing.
Hmm.
See, I was
And to
still,
take it a step further,
yeah,
with you, and I've said this several times, you'll tell truths, you'll speak
yeah,
on any number of subjects, but you always, not only is the ego not present, but
yeah,
you also say, investigate it for yourself.
yeah,
Like, listen to the truth, but also don't just take Dr.
yeah,
Rao's word. You say this. You said
yeah,
investigate it for yourself, and I think that's such a pure form of spirit,
yeah,
and such a pure form of truth. And there's zero signature of an ego. And
yeah.
just yeah.
It's a
I
ancient
love you,
wisdom.
my friend.
Yeah,
I'm gonna drop down and listen because
yeah.
I have to.
Ancient
I gotta
wisdom
come up with
told us three ways to really go for the truth in anybody's life. Um, One is first listen. Open your mind, open your ears, open your whole being and listen. Don't say this is good, not good, none of the argumentation. but just listen. What is he saying? What is she saying? And then the second step is called manana. Once you have listened to something, then you go and investigate that. You express all your doubts. You question that. You doubt that. You kind of, doing that itself, you go into the depth of the matter by yourself. Maybe your experience, maybe your readings, maybe your understandings, all those may be questioned too. And out of that questioning, we will come to the truth by ourselves. Not recommending, not just saying, oh, this is true, that is, no, no, you go. Some of these things have to be in your, they're called mastish, that means in your inner deep intellect. They should stay there. Not like you explore one thing today and then go to the next talk and all. No, these have to be deeper questions, existential questions that you have for weeks. And then out of that inner questioning, staying with it for a long time, you will come to the truth. And once you understood the truth, especially inner matters, the third step is make it to be allowed into our daily life. That is called nididhyasana. You know, so listening is called shravanam. Reflecting and questioning and all that is called mananam. Mana means mind. Manana means going in your own mind. And the third one is called nididhyasana. The truths that you assimilated, are they flowing through the life? Once you allow that to go, not like just because somebody said and you believe and do it, that doesn't hold water, because somebody else may come and say something else, then you change that too. So you are never traveling with your inner, deeply investigated and then found the truth. That is what is needed, but the modern life is making people not to reflect on anything, and also not to stay with what is important in life. Why we are having so many wars, why we are having politicians that are taking away fundamental rights and all that, why we are having so many uh, weather events, and why we are damaging the earth, which is really heaven, and we are making it a real toxic weather. So those are fundamental questions, and we got to just not say, "Oh, I'm a Democrat, I'm a Republican." That's all really superficial. But go deeper as a human being and find out how is I'm responsible for this degradation of the weather. How am I contributing to it unconsciously or consciously? So those kind of things are very important. So it is a question of staying with the deeper questions for a longer time is important. And you got to make time and energy for that. Hi, Megan.
Hello,
How are you?
I'm okay.
You have a question? Or you want to say something?
Yeah, I'm just gonna enjoy I, I just like to be in your conversation. I
Okay.
didn't know. Yeah,
Very good. Okay. You can listen if you want to, no problem. Okay. But if you have a question, you can tell me, or if you have any comment, you can tell me too. So,
okay.
yeah, we are talking about. I'm going to do some webinars on Saturdays for 8 weeks in a row, and I'm going to do things like how can you be in the flow without really tiring out, and how can you sleep better? How can you have a face that reflects your inner glow? That kind of. So 8 topics I selected. So I'm going to discuss them at length on Saturday, relaxed in the morning, 9 to maybe 10:30, 11. I will be talking about it. So I just came here to announce that, to tell people, my friends, that I'm going to do this. Like Peter is my friend too. He comes on there too. So those kind of things. So that will be happening on the Zoom, and how to sign up and all that. That will be here very soon. Okay, Megan?
All right.
Yeah, you can sign up too. Just look for it, and then it will be on my profile also. Okay, so
What the name? Zoom?
it's Zoom, Zoom. The
Okay.
the platform Zoom, Zoom platform on online. So
Okay, let me go
ZOOM.
check it out.
Yeah, that is it's not going to be on here. It is going to be on the Zoom. So people who are my friends, I came to announce to them so that they will come to know what is I'm doing.
Is it a new app?
No, no, it's not an app. It's an app. It's a ZOOM. You got to be when the link comes, you just click on it, and they have some format of signing up. Once you sign up, you come into that my stream right away. That will be on the Zoom. That's a very popular these days. All the webinars, all the meetings, we do them, all that.
Okay, let me go check it out.
Okay, okay. Download the app and it will be on the phone also. You can do that. So
All right.
okay. Yeah, a lot of people are not familiar with all this. I am pretty, pretty interested in this technology, and I've been taking classes on the artificial intelligence, and which is giving me a lot of room about doing stuff, and also really, I'm teaching that also now. So for the young people, I really want them to understand and be competent in the technology. Today we were listening to the Commerce Secretary. He was talking about how they convinced um Taiwan to invest so many billions of dollars, and they already have a building going on in Arizona, Phoenix, Arizona. From that site, this interview happened, and he was telling how they are going to do a lot of these microchips that we need for all of that. And they have started one factory already, but three other are planned, and they need a lot of people who are highly um, trained in the artificial intelligence too. So I'm kind of telling people to get on that. I mean, spirituality is all okay, but then you can use science to enhance the spirituality too, to help people too. But then this is going to be something very important technology that we need to know. Otherwise, people who know this high technology will replace. So I'm already ahead with my medical field because a lot of doctors don't know what I know is the AI. But doesn't mean I'm going to replace them. I'm going to supplement them. But what it is they will be in trouble because they can't do the job normally unless they know the AI. Okay. I saw that in the EMR also. When it first came, many doctors were resistant because they didn't want to change. They didn't want to learn something new again. So they were very unhappy and protested that too. But then once we really implemented, then they got to use it, and they were very happy that they learned it because it cut down the long-term time and all that. It's more legible, more good for the patient's records and all. So many good things are there because we computerize the medical records. And the data is democratized. So I have my own. Reasons why I encouraged EMRs because I thought being a patient advocate, I felt patient data will be more available all over, and so we will not make many mistakes. Suppose somebody is allergic to something, and the patient is here, his records are here, but he may not know about it. But he goes to some other town and he has some problem and he had to be rushed to the hospital. Hospital would like to know what kind of medications he was on, what kind of allergies he has, and all that. That is one big argument I made it because medical records were in silos. They were not all over. Now you see, all over. We can get them anywhere in the world if we are. That's a good thing. That's a artificial intelligence also. They are trying to control it a little bit, but we'll see how it goes on. But one thing is, I am doing my mundane work, like writing, emailing, or blogging, or uh, doing meetings, preparation of the meetings. So many things I do to serve my friends and family and patients, that is being done at a very, very rapid pace. It is saving me a lot of time and money and energy. So that's one thing I personally have enjoyed very much because I have more time to do yoga, physical yoga, if I want to do, I can go and walk in the nature. I can spend time with my family. Uh, all those things have become because even though I'm doing a lot more for people, I have getting a lot of time for myself, for my family, which is important too. What is important to me, I was able to do. So, living life according to my terms is more possible because of the artificial intelligence things that I have learned. I can make videos, I can edit them. I never did them in my life before. I can really record talks and then make them coaching the thing in seconds. I can do that. Suppose I want to do head to toe yoga, which is my invention of doing this yoga 2 or 3 times a day to limber up all your joints. I just record it very quickly and then do it. So anything that I want to do instead of 1 hour, I'm doing it 3 or 4 minutes. That's a huge saving of the time. So it's not the technology, but how we use it, that's going to be right. So in the process of this Saturday webinars, I'll introduce how I'm using that even to do the webinar, even to make the webinar more user friendly and more educational, more inspirational, like that. Because I can bring in lots of, like for example, presentations. I can do beautiful presentations within minutes. You know, so I can write articles in few seconds. And like yesterday, my sister called me from India, and she was telling me that her daughter had this shingles, right? And then she thought her back is hurting. There was no rash. She went to the hospital and they gave her some cream or something, because they thought they could not see any rash. Anything. But that's the time you could have given an antiviral, and the viral load would have cut down, and she would not have gone into this complete manifestation of the rash, and after the rash will go down, then again the post-herpetic neuralgia. That's a very painful condition, and we know of it. So what we do, most of the elderly people, we give them Zovirax. That's a vaccine that we do, give them, like a pneumonia vaccine. We also make sure they get it all, so that they don't have to suffer this. But probably they may not know about it. So I was training her how to deal with the neuralgia that is going to come up for her after this, because that is not going to respond to medications that well. Okay, people who don't want to take pain medication also, they don't want to take that. But there are so many other things that you could do. I was writing an article on her, and then I wrote it within a couple of minutes and then sent it to her. I can also reference really go and research it very quickly if I want to. But because I have dealt with post-herpetic neuralgia for so many years, I know very well about that condition, and I kind of gave it to her. And one of the other things is, I talk about this proactive wellness, right? What does it mean? Suppose your immunity is pretty good, these kind of infections may not happen to you. But the modern anxiety, modern rat race, modern hurrying for things, and all that, and also not taking care of ourselves properly, you kind of get your immunity go down. And when your immunity go down, you have more chances of getting these kind of infections affect you. So I was also telling her, for further use, just do these things to improve your inner immunity. There's something many doctors don't speak about, but I always talk to my bronchitis patients, pneumonia patients, or any infections. I talked about how the immunity works, what are the things that rob your immunity, what are the nutritional factors, what are the exercise factors, relaxation factors, stress reduction factors, all those things I used to educate them. But they have to listen and do that. Like, okay, late nights, not sleeping well, and drinking alcohol, smoking, drugs, or some chronic diseases can rob you of that. But there is a yoga routine that you could do every day to keep your immunity really working optimally. But people have to do that. I do that every day, but they don't do it, then their immunity will be. I have not had an infection in years. I have not taken any antibiotic, anything in years. That's because the lifestyle is like that. I don't get worried about things that easily. I don't get hurried that easily. So this flow thing I was talking about, when you do things like that, not because you're privileged, you have things, not only that, even when you are not, when you are really, many yogis are really, they don't have a penny on them. They don't have any annuities. They don't have any retirement plans, but they have this security of the inner self, and with that they don't let their mind run away for the insecure things and imaginations and all that. Okay, everybody tries oh, save money for the rainy day and all that, but they don't need the money to be happy. They will just eat whatever they can get. They can go to a plant and then pluck a couple of fruits, and then their hunger is gone. And they don't have these special teas or habits where they have to have this kind of meal, that kind of meal. It's not there because they're not dependent of that. They're independent of that. Okay. I hope this all makes sense to you. Anyway, uh, AI is going to be very important, and I suggest everybody to make an effort or come to my classes when I'm taking on AI once a week on Fridays. I take, but lately I have not taken it. But I sometimes I just open the room and then talk about how practical things I'm doing with artificial intelligence. I'm not going to be a technical person, but more of who is exploiting the of apps I'm seeing it. And I go to conferences, I learn a lot of using this technology and then applying them. I may know a little bit about them, but I don't have to be like a completely go and then see how this is working programming. I don't program. I don't know what it is. But then without program, you can run a lot of things with artificial intelligence now. So it is growing very big, and then it's going to be important for us. Like that companies that are building for the semiconductors and the chips and all that. They are very, very important for us in everything that we do. So having the technology um, trained people, that's important too. So many of the youngsters learning this technology will be ahead. Okay. All right. So I'm here just to tell you how I'm going to be doing this Saturday satsangs or webinars. And the topics are once again, first one will be on the flow, how to be in the flow and do our jobs and whatever we do. Second one will be on the Wellness Summit, Comprehensive Self-Care, Proactive Wellness. The third one will be on the facial yoga, how you can inwardly beautiful and let the space glow. Okay, and then restorative sleep, and then entrepreneurs' daily routine to win. See, that's what I was spending a lot of time on that, on my book also, the Sacred Strategy. That is the book title. And the sixth week will be nutrition. Both ancient and modern nutrition will be discussing. And let's see what is good about that, ancient, what is good about the modern, and we combine both of them. Okay. And then meditation, very important thing, right? A lot of people don't understand the depths of meditation. There is mindfulness, being attentive to whatever you're doing, and there is a real meditation when you have only one thought and you go beyond the thought and stay in the silence. There is a meditative awareness where you're really meditatively aware all the time. That is possible too. And then the last topic will be what's called self-realization. You realize who your real self is, not your body, not your mind, but what is animating them too. The spark of life, the spark of divinity that is inside of everybody. So once we identify that, we are all equal at that state. Okay, that's a big topic, but I'm going to talk about that on the last week. Okay. So anybody else has any questions before I close the room? My purpose is done. Why I have come here and I announced and all that. And a couple of people came up and talked to me, so that's pretty good. Amrita did not come up. I would like love to talk to her. I have not seen Amrita for a while. I think it's the same Amrita, I believe. I don't know. There was a one Amrita that she used to come up on the Noom Vibe, and I used to talk to her. Okay. Anyway, have a nice time, all of you, and I'll be seeing you on the Saturday satsangs. Bye bye.